Luna's been banging on stuff with rhythm, table, water bottle, dog bowl. I immediately thought we should sign her up for music class, May said, one sentence that made me shut up.
90% of parents miss the real reason kids quit practicing. It's not laziness. It's something Yo-Yo did that wired her brain to associate practice with negative feelings.
I haven't even done anything yet.
The motive behind we should sign her up decides whether she'll love it or hate it. I'll explain. Coming up. She is 2.
I'm a planner. You know how I got into crypto before everyone else? Same energy. Get in early, build the foundation. And then I fell down a rabbit hole of videos of kids crying at pianos, refusing to practice.
Music lessons are not a DeFi protocol, but that instinct to understand why it falls apart. That one is actually worth following.
Because it is the same scene in every video. Different kid, different instrument, same tears. This is basically universal, which means it's not about the child, it's about the system.
The crying isn't about the piano, it's about what the piano has come to represent. And to understand that, you need to know what actually keeps humans motivated.
Self-determination theory. Tell them.
SDT says humans need 3 things for intrinsic motivation to survive. Autonomy. I chose this. Competence. I'm getting better. Relatedness. This connects me to people I love. Stay with me. The formula for intrinsic motivation is coming next.
And forced practice kills all 3 at once.
All 3 simultaneously. You sit down at a time you didn't choose. You play a piece assigned to you. A parent stands over you watching for mistakes. Autonomy gone. Competence crushed. The person you love most is now the source of pressure.
So the instrument becomes associated with failure and disappointing your parent, not with music.
They're not quitting the instrument. They're quitting the version of the instrument that has been handed to them. That distinction matters enormously.
And what happens long term? For kids who are pushed hard and eventually quit?
The damage isn't just that they stop playing. Research shows many develop a negative identity around music entirely. They say things like, I'm just not musical. They avoid concerts. They feel shame when someone plays well in front of them.
They didn't come to that conclusion because they were bad at piano. They came to it because practice felt terrible for years.
And then they raise their own children and push them the same way. Because that's the only model they know. The parents who push hardest often produce the children who run farthest from the very thing they pushed.
You push toward music and produce someone who avoids it for the rest of their life. That is a genuinely terrible outcome.
Method 1. Let them choose what to practice. Not we're doing scales today. Show them 3 options and let them pick. Even that tiny choice activates autonomy.
Are we sacrificing actual learning? Does it matter what they choose?
No. Engaged practice with something they chose is worth 10 times more than resentful performance of the correct piece. The child who chose is present. The child who was assigned is already somewhere else.
Choice creates buy-in, even when the options are small.
The choice is the signal. Your preference matters here. That signal flips the entire motivational register.
Method 2. Keep sessions tiny.
5 minutes. 10 at the absolute most. And always end before they want to stop. Leave them hungry for tomorrow. That is the goal, not coverage.
End while they still want more. That feels counterintuitive. Shouldn't we cover the material?
5 minutes of full engagement builds more than 40 minutes of resentful performance. If you stop while they're still enjoying it, they go to bed thinking, I want to do that again. That's the whole method.
Versus the kid who associated the instrument with the word finally when it's over.
End on energy, not exhaustion. The feeling they leave with is the feeling they return with next time.
Method 3. Notice progress out loud. And you said this is nothing like good job.
Right. Good job is a grade. It tells the child nothing about what they actually did. Specific observation is a mirror. I am watching you. Your effort is visible.
What does it actually sound like?
That transition in the middle is so much smoother than last week. You shifted your hand position. I noticed that. Real observations. She hears, I'm actually improving, and someone who matters sees it.
Competence and relatedness in one sentence. That's witnessing, not praise.
Right, and it costs nothing, just real attention.
Okay, the framework. 3 words.
Choose. Small, notice. Let them choose. Keep it short and end first. Observe one specific thing they did. That's the whole system.
Old version. Go practice piano for 30 minutes, from the top of the piece, right now. Choose. Small notice version. Which of these 2 would you like to try? 5 minutes. I'll watch.
If I assigned you a fixed crypto topic, told you to research it for 40 minutes, and stood behind you watching, would you enjoy it?
I would lose all interest in crypto within a week. There you go.
Same principle. Same neuroscience. Different chair.
Tell them about the girl who wouldn't touch the xylophone.
I had a 7-year-old in my extended program who refused to go near the classroom, xylophone for 3 months. Her parents had pulled her from piano lessons because she cried at every single session.
So she'd already built the identity. I'm not musical.
She had. So I never asked her to play. I just played myself sometimes, not performing, just exploring, nearby but not directed at her.
And she was watching the whole time.
One day she picked up a mallet and played 1 note. I said nothing. The next session, 2 notes. Then a short pattern. By the end of the month, she was playing full songs.
Same kid who cried at piano 6 months earlier? What changed?
I asked her why she finally wanted to play. She said, because nobody told me I had to. The love of the thing was always there. The instruction had just been burying it.
The question I want you to sit with this week.
If you were pushed to practice something as a child, an instrument, a sport, a skill, did you stick with it? What do you remember feeling during those sessions? Not what you learned, what you felt.
Because that feeling is what your child will carry forward if you don't interrupt the cycle.
Homework. Try. Choose small. Notice just once this week. Give 2 options, keep it 5 minutes, end before they want to stop, and name one specific thing you observed.
And if you were one of those kids at the piano, drop it in the comments. Did you stick with it? Do you still play? We genuinely want to know how it turned out.
And if this made you think about how you were taught, that reflection alone is worth something. You're already breaking the cycle.
If you want to raise a kid who actually loves what they practice, subscribe. New episodes every week. Luna just hit the dog bowl in perfect 4-4 time. Early mover advantage. Bye.
The dog had a different opinion about that rhythm.